All right. By popular demand, we are going to review a short interview that Jesse Waters did with an anti-work dog walker that I am told went horribly wrong. Let's check it out.
Over 1.6 million subscribers. Joining me now is the person who operates this anti-work group, Doreen Ford. All right, so Doreen, why do you like the idea of being home, not working, but still getting paid?
First of all, it's like, who wouldn't like the idea of that, right? I mean, that's like, well, I don't know. It sounds pretty good. You just don't work and you get paid. It sounds good. It's a very dumb question.
By corporate America.
Yeah. So there's some misconceptions about the movement. So we're a movement where we want to reduce the amount of work that people feel like they're forced to do. And so we want to still put in effort. We want to put in labor, but we don't want to necessarily be in a position where we feel trapped. You just quoted from Office Space, where that person feels very trapped in their job. I think we're calling for a society where there's less of that. But yeah, absolutely, people still want to do things. They just want to do things where they feel rewarded and they feel like they're in a good spot in their life, and that their job respects them and stuff like that. There's varying.
So Doreen, you're not being forced to work. This isn't slave labor. You've applied for a job.
Now, see, here's the thing with this stuff. Like, obviously, this Doreen Ford is not. I mean, okay, so like, let's step back. This interview is a sandbag. This interview is just an interview. It's 3 minutes long. Very few people who are not on TV all the time can come off looking good if given only 3 minutes to answer extremely narrow questions. But even I'm all about work and, self-determination, whatever. If people don't want to work, then great, don't work, and, whatever. But Jesse Waters is being either ignorant or kind of insincere, disingenuous, in that this whole thing of no one's forcing you to work. Okay, you're not being forced to work, but unless you're independently wealthy, we have a system where you have to somehow provide for yourself. And so, like, that doesn't mean you're a slave at a particular job, but it's not a very realistic conversation. His framing is bad faith. Doreen has no business doing this interview. It's beyond any doubt. Okay. I agree with that. But this is not a good faith conversation about the ways in which, even if you're not a slave to a particular job, there's a system in which you don't even get health care unless right? Where that's a legitimate conversation to have. Anyway, it's like, it's bad faith versus completely unprepared,
Agreed to the terms and conditions of the employment, and you can walk away from that job at any time and quit. So I don't understand really what this is about. Sure. Except it sounds like maybe people are just being lazy. Are you encouraging people to be lazy?
So I think laziness is a virtue in a society where people constantly want you to be productive 24/7, and it's good to have rest. That doesn't mean you should be resting all the time or not putting effort into things that you care about. But I think one of the
What do you think is like a good work day? How many hours is a solid work day in your ideal society?
Sure. I mean, I think as much as people want. I mean, I personally work.
It's painful both because Doreen is very unprepared, but because the premise of the interview is so bad faith and Jesse Waters is so gross.
I have like a 25 hour work weeks, which I think is fairly good. So I would like less work hours.
And what do you do, Doreen?
I'm a dog walker.
A dog walker. Okay.
Yes.
And how?
So
how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Sure, I'm 30.
You're 30. Okay. And is there something you want to do besides being a dog walker? Do you aspire to do anything more than dog walking, or is that kind of your pinnacle?
I like that's irrelevant to the points being made. It's like everything about this is just so stupid.
Working with dogs, if I had to do this for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be super complaining. Dogs are wonderful animals, but I would love to teach. I would love to, work work with people and stuff like that.
What would you teach, Doreen?
Philosophy mostly, just introduction to philosophy, critical thinking, reason, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I would love to take your class, Doreen. I would just be taking notes the whole time. And you know what? A professor's a very similar schedule than something that you're imagining. So I think that actually might work perfectly for you. Listen, I think this might not be the greatest idea, but who am I to judge? To each their own, they say. It's a free country.
Sure.
Not everything's free,
you know.
but it is a free country. Thank you so much. We got to run. We got to pay the bill.
I mean, it's such a dumb interview, you know? And I get that Doreen is completely unprepared for this, but it's just all very stupid. Sager says this interview went so horribly wrong that the anti-work subreddit has been shut down and likely for good. Is that true? The subreddit, it's shut down? Why? Did it get brigaded or something? That's crazy. I don't understand why this interview would end up with it shut down. It's private. Okay. All right.